I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CT Review. Today is September 30, Tuesday, 2025. Hope you had a good day today. So I'm trying to make this simple. There's a lot, to explain and talk about, but to keep it simple, don't get lost with all this. This is the daily chart over here to the bottom left. I just have these quadded here, and you can see that we touched that on Thursday at the quad. Okay, then the next quadded level over here to the right is the actual daily wick of Thursday. I got it right here. I'm sorry, not Thursday, not the daily. Last week's wick. Okay, last week's wick is what this is quadded. Then up top here, I have the weekly wick above from last week's. That's what's quadded up here. And then to the right, this little one right here, this is Monday's wick. Okay, Monday's wick is this little thing right here. Okay, now that I've said all that, what we have talked about in the last 2 days? Well, we said we had an expansion here. So I'm expecting a retrace. In the retrace, you're going to get these drives down, right? And that's exactly what we did. And then to try to keep it simple, you can see that I'm mentioning that we're retracing back. How far did we want to go? There was an opening range gap over here that wasn't sealed. I also drew this 50% of that range from low to high. Talked about this as a breakout area. I also mentioned that's the open of the week. And then after that, you want to see it go back up. Okay, today we are at the end of the month. We are at the end of the quarter. So generally speaking, we're going to have chop. We're going to have, it's pretty much like this speaker that we made on Friday, this past Friday, right? Okay, so, but then you can see that we do push up, right? So just like when we pushed up here and we retraced down, we bodies ended up respecting and then it expanded. All right, but today was a lot more difficult. Okay, fine. But then I said, okay, if this is a reversal and we're going to come down because it's really heavy and it's the end of the quarter and they want to open up with the new quarter with still selling off, then maybe we'll get lower lows and lower highs all the way down. I was still bullish and I expected to kind of be a buyer in this area. Was it tough? Yes, absolutely. Was I still part of it? Yes, I was. Just overstaying your welcome, that's a whole nother story. To keep it simple, what's it called? We had the opening range gap from yesterday. You can see that it's not sealed. That's why, and you see the projections here. See, I did it with the bodies. Where's 101.5? Remember all that confluence? I know it's a long video yesterday, but I'm giving you fire and you have to follow it. I don't know what else I could say. But then I also have today, I have this 4-hour imbalance highlighted. I want to see that stay, unfilled with bodies to show strength on the upper quadrant of that half, right? So we got that here, but I skinned out with my teeth, but I skated out with, but the point is that we're getting these lower highs here. All right, we're using that resistance for that gap of last week's open in the gray. And you can see that level's quadded. It's smacking it perfectly right here. We end up making another drive in London. We get to the 50%, but notice we do not seal it still. Okay, cool. Comes back for a lower low to lower high. So in the retracement, we're getting these lower lows and lower highs. Comes here, comes back up, hits the midnight level. Midnight level is very important today. And then it's a lower high. Comes down, and then now I'm going to transfer to the 1 minute. You can see that you can see I'm highlighting Monday's first in balance, the AM here, and then this is the PM, right? Notice at the PM session, I got it dragged right here on the 1 minute. See that? Notice how that's the opening range gap, and then boom, ticket, and it sells off. Okay, so what are we in? We're still retracing possibly. What is this? A lower high. Here's that imbalance right there on the bearish side. Popped right in. It was a good leg for it to come down. You're already in it. If you already sold here, you're safe. It's coming down. Boom. We get to that 4-hour imbalance. We get to that fucking confluence that I mentioned on the -1 with the sealment and that as well. And then here you have that wick of the, what did I say? This was the wick of the lower wick of the fucking last week, right? So we come and before we tag that here, as you see my entry, we're coming in here and we sealed it. We hit that area. Now we've sealed that opening range gap yesterday. We pop up. We pop up here. It does not go through. And you can see this price action is kind of choppy as well. And then it was also easy just to drop once and then pop up. So they made another drive down. You can see 3 drives. 1, 2, 3. So now we're outside. We raid here. It's another low. We've made a lower high here. In the whole fractal, you're going to expect some type of shift, retrace back up. So I'm buying the raid on the wick. I mean, you got to have experience with this. I can't expect you to do this. Your entry could be here. Obviously, I'm highlighting it in this section. You can see that we have an oversold here. They suckered me in. No problem. I know what we're doing. We're trying to clear this liquidity on the buy side right here. And I also, if you're expanding, you want to see it push up, right? So if that's the phase of from high to retracement to higher low, inside you get the drives down. Notice all this bullshit here, fine, but then we get 1, 2, 3. All right, so this is also what I'm doing here. Straight V reversal. Inversion, holding, and then you can see we shift above there. We get to the daily gap, and then we retrace back, right? We retrace back deep. You can see I'm doing a very logical retail fib here, and you can see 70 right there. But if you look closely, if you had nothing on the fucking chart, you had this little imbalance right there. I didn't draw it, but it would be in blue. I'm going to highlight it right there. See that? Do you notice how this price, it came, here's the first imbalance for today, by the way. And then also you'd want to see, bodies on higher time frame respect the 50% of this 4-hour imbalance, at least the low of the imbalance, which we'll get in a second. And then you can see that this price smacks that 50, comes deeper, and then 2 bodies looking tough at first, dipping right into there. Boom. All right. So then you get your you get a high, higher low, high. Sorry. All the in between is bullshit. So you have a little shift here, but it's fractal. So what I'm actually chasing to break the top, and it can come back down. But guess what? The logic here is that I got my 2 targets. You can see it very clear. Nothing's changed in my target, in my chart. I'm just fucking hit my second target now. You bitch. Fucking knew it. Look at to the fucking tick, dude. Boom. Right there. That's why I got that second circle. Well, there you go. Now you're going to see it. Now you're going to see me explain it. The first circle here, this is important because of the fact that I just mentioned about that liquidity right there. So I got it circled here. Why? I also have the gap. So I know we want to breathe outside of it. Notice how when I take the buy, I weather all this. I have to endure this because I understand the range. We also have a speaker here. Again, I'm pushing up, and it's London closed. It's done, right? It sucked. It's all time distortion, but on a day like this, especially with it being end of the month and all I just mentioned, fuck me, I just went up higher. Okay, so what am I doing here? Once I break up here, big strength. 1, 2, 3 drives. I'm squeezing. Done. Smart decision to take this. Why? Oh, you'll see why. Obviously, you probably know why. Well, look what they did. This little fractal pattern. Notice the 15-minute, the chart, the 15-minute here. This on the bullish imbalance. I'm gonna move it over just a little bit. Notice how Notice how the bodies are respecting here still. So when I take this out, I would love for it to just keep going, right? But guess what? It pulls back in. Okay, watch when it pulls back in. Pulls all the way back in. Could have been a great sell. You can see the break here. See, break, lower high, low, lower high. And it starts that leg down. This is deep. You don't want to see that. But guess what? It's part of the fucking game. There's nothing else you can do about it. It comes back in. Okay, can you buy this? Yeah, sure. Guess what they did? When it came and bought here, the 15-minute bodies is still respecting. I even bought this bitch. And then guess what? I'm trying to get the new leg up for an expansion, right? Look at the 4 hour. The 4 hour is very key. Sorry, I didn't zoom in this. The 4 hour, I'm trying to catch a swing low as well, right? So look at the 4 hour here, the 6 to 10 o'clock that dripped and hit that where I bought it. And then it came back in the range. Okay. That closes inside. It shows strength. And then you want to see the next candle, candle 3. If that's a swing low, it's a lower, it's a higher low to the left, higher low to the right. Look at these bitches. I fucking knew it. Lower high, another high low to the right, and that 4 hour, which was the 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock, they pushed it up and they retraced it back. They came in here, they bought back up, and they stopped on a dime. It rushed right through to the midnight level. They're trying to squeeze everybody here. You would expect it to keep going. Guess what? It ain't going to be easy. What did they do? They came all the way back down. And look what they did here. They came back all the way here. Trend line phantom of liquidity. Got to be careful. Day like this comes down, squeezes everybody here. And if I was still holding and I closed my eyes, I'd be up here. But guess what? I took out the profit. I kept it simple. That was a decision. But when it came back, you understand that this is, first of all, ugly price action. Number one. Number two, look how they can come back down deeper and still fucking buy up. So if I draw it, we're going to go from the left side. Okay, up here. Okay, high. Now where's the retrace? Okay, so now we're getting this. We're getting this. Okay, pushes up, lower low. Comes here. On the bigger scale, we get the shift. I bought that shift, right? I bought that shift, and comes back down 2 drives. Comes back 2 drives. 1, 2. Does not break that low. This is still a shift on a bigger range time frame, I should say. And then we get this, right? So fuck me. Do you see this? Do you see this right here? All right, you see that? I'm sure you can see that. So that was from coming up from here, retracing back. So 1 cell, 2 cells, 3 cells, 4 cells, pops up, shifts, another cell, but that is the shift and it's retracing back. So now when we're buying, this is now buy 1. I bought buy 1. I tried to buy 2, they fucked me, left it alone. Said buy 2. Buy 2. Right? So now we are in flow going up to assume that we're doing this now. Okay? And you're going to now get these higher highs and higher lows in the leg of the expansion. But guess what? They fucked it. They fucked the day. They did this shit, right? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? But I still understand the logic and I also can stay out of it. But look what happens here. Back to this 15-minute. Look at that. You see the body sitting right there on the 15-minute? Yeah, it comes outside on the 1 minute. On the 5 minute, it comes out too. But look at the 50. You can see it. Oh, let me go to the hour. Look at the hour. Look at the hour. Look at how there are no bodies here. And then boom. We got a swing low here. So we had that swing low. And then we had now this swing low. 1, 2, 3. Candle 2 pushes in and it's showing you the strength. Look at candle 3. That's at 2 o'clock now. That 2 o'clock expands. So that's candle 3 pushing up and of the swing. And then candle 4 is also an expansion candle as well if you're on this side. Now I could have fucking, and you don't have a closure here yet. But on this time frame, on the 15-minute, you have a closure right there. You could put your entry here and your stop loss down here and go for your 2R up there. That's fine. You can do that. I'm not trading the PM session, so this is the way it worked out for me. But I understood where we were in the transition. Did they come deep? Yeah. But was it still a higher low? Yeah. So as you can see, if I was to just do this, lower low, lower high, lower low, shift, higher low, and then and that's debatable. If I delete this and just have went straight up, so fuck, I have to fix it. I just have to do it like this, maybe. Hold on. So you don't see it. Okay, cool. So lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, shifts up, right? Even above this. So even if I don't include this fucking drop, it's this. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower shift here, retrace all the way deep, then pushes back. Now, in a perfect world, do you want to see all this? No. Wouldn't you just have loved it to do this? Wouldn't you just have loved it for it to just do this? We'll even say this. That's fine. We'll even say this. We'll come up here and let's just say it stops here, for example, and then just kept going up. Yeah, that would be a perfect fucking world. But this is the way it got delivered today. Nothing else I could say there. And you can see that they use this inversion to get the trades in and deuce, and then they came and rated it. But notice how it'll be used again once it hits that 50%. You see that right there? Takes off, right? That's a signature there. I mean, I could talk about this all day long, man, and then as far as it expanding on this side, once you come in here, you can see an entry right here with an imbalance. We dip in, right? Last down candle. In a way, it's really this candle, but I can't get into the semantics here that, this right here, popping in, retracing for a 50% of this range. It's in an imbalance at the 50%. Look at the 15-minute candle, just literally like opening on there and then taking off. That's the 4-hour candle. The 4-hour candle is expanding these bitches. So I was sitting here like, bro, just stay out of it. This is fucking rough. We don't have a clear direction, but my idea was still correct though. My idea was still right, but the way they performed, the way they did it is, you just got to walk away sometimes, right? And who cares, right? But sure enough, why am I doing this? I'm saying because we are bullish. I wasn't expecting to come really down here. If this came down here, this 15-minute, and this price action started doing that, that would be now okay. We're looking at something deep, and it might be, okay, but but this is still in effect. Aren't we doing this now? We retrace down here, we play the fuck around fractally inside on a lower time frame, and then now we're up here. Where are we? Yeah. We just did this, and we came up and we did this, and we're up here. All right, so I hope this makes sense. And then that's why I had my second. Okay, so I have my second circle because of, remember the first imbalance of AM and PM from yesterday. It's because it's Monday. It's important. So we sold from there. We came above it. We came below it. We came above it. We have the first imbalance for today, but not helpful. But it's still referencing it. Let me just do this. And then. We come and we tag it here. We come underneath. Even if I drag this shit out, look at how it's sold right there. And then we use it as support here. This is also a buy right there. But then I have the AM and I have it dragged out. Now that I mentioned that I dragged it out, in general cases, by the way, the projection, you got to have all these. You gotta have the projection on your chart to come back. I have the -1 to 1.5. You can see that. And then I also measured on the 15-minute. You can see I measured this little swing here, which you'll see it here. It's from there to there. We broke it. Look at the 1 and 1.5 here. We jump into it. Algorithmically, if nothing was on the chart, you had the weekly close of right there. This fucking, it was, the weekly wick right there, the fucking open right there. That's what that is right there, where you see my entry. Then I have it projected this way. Projected this way is the last one before we broke. And what you see? -1. So what are my confluences up here? I got -1. Look how we just came outside of it. They wanted to do that on purpose. Look how I fucking got out, literally, as we chased up. Next target, I would have loved for it to go straight, but it didn't do that. So guess what? So -1 here from that projection. I have that Thursday, not Thursday. I'm sorry. God damn it. the weekly top wick of last week quadded. I have that right there with that imbalance of AM yesterday, and I have that standard one deviation up. So again, more speaker shit, right? Look at the transition and study this and backtest this, see how they work in, transitional phases even. And then if I move this over, I also have, okay, so this is where my second target was that was sitting there, because you want to get to the -1, you want to hit that and that and that, and sure enough we got there. That was, I'm circling it literally, right? And then to the right here, I mentioned that Thursday's wick. Don't forget, why do I keep saying Thursday? Monday's wick right here. See Monday's wick? Look where 50% is. 50% is exactly where that 25% bottom of the last week's top wick. Week, not day, week, right? Okay, so is it a coincidence that the bodies just stopped right here, and then now we're selling off back where? That's a breakout area. I'm not involved in the market, but I'm telling you now while it's happening that we came in and we hit this area here. All right, nice. And then look at the bodies on the 15-minute, the 1 hour. Not perfect or anything, but it's pretty close. And what are we doing here? Like I just said, this is an expansion leg in general speaking. So, man, I don't know what else I could say. And, man, I can't make this long. I gotta go. But let me see if I can explain this too. At the time, oh boy, at the time when 9:30 happened, not sure why I didn't draw it, but we had like this from Dow. All right, because it was still lower at the time. But lower highs here, we were pushing down. Once we pushed down here, we had lower lows with Nas. And man, I wasn't paying attention to this well. Hold on a second. Why did I draw this wrong? I was trying to be in a rush. Man. Yeah, at the time we didn't make a lower low here with S&P. All right, but we did here, and it bought up, but we ended up getting 2 drives. It's not really that important right now. I was also just, anyway, it's very tough on a fucking speaker day. But anyways, so you had lower lows here with Dow, and then you had higher lows right here. Right? Lower lows there. Higher lows. So higher lows with fucking Nas, higher lows with S&P, lower lows with Dow. I ended up buying that and holding it. Then when we got here and that price came back here, we had a higher low with Nas. We had lower lows clear with S&P and Dow. And that was our benefit. If you were trading Nas, then you were straight, right? Because what did S&P do? They took out that low. So we don't know what's going to happen. The ideas are still all the same in general speaking. But that's that, man. I mean, I can't really get into it more. And then with here, this was also how we got dirty on Nas. They came and broke that low, but didn't take out that low. But then here you can see a higher low at S&P and a higher low with Dow. So, but the point was to still push up. Now, I mean, you want to see it hold and push up for higher highs and higher lows. If it's a complete reversal, I mean, we're going to have a different conversation. I'm fucking over it, to be honest with you. But, and then we have dollar retracing as well, still coming down. So, we would expect us to push up. We don't know what's going to happen with dollar. It's fucking really ugly, but I'm just going to leave that alone. Okay. And then again, speaker. So, what can you do? But high retraced, came up, drives back down. Now you would expect, now if that's a retracement with the drives back from this high to this higher low, then you're going to want to see expansion. Nothing else I could say. Very, very dirty price action. Yeah. What else can I say here? So, like, even if this was a pump first and then your dump, you got your drives here, lower low, lower high, lower low, shift, higher low, higher high, right? So that's how you're gonna read that, right? And they're lucky that they even let you read it. And then okay, high here, we retraced, push up, retrace, push up. So right now, when I've been making the video yesterday, I said we are in a retrace. And then generally speaking, it's going to do its drives. And then by the time it's done retracing, it's going to expand. And how would you have been involved? You have to buy down here. That's why they made it dirty. Because they know everybody and their fucking mother is buying this shit right now. So they want to make new highs. Just really simple. And then sealing all of yesterday's candle. All right. And notice how we don't take out the low of yesterday, which is Monday, or of the week. But we hit the open. That's why I drew this purple line. That's why I drew it. Because I wanted to know where that was, because I had a feeling it was going to be important. Why? Because when we bought up on Sunday night, we just fucking kept buying up, right? Because why? Because this structure here, we had low, lower high, low, failed, shift, retrace. This is Friday, right? Higher low, push up expansion, retrace, fuck around, buy. Look at the hourly bodies sitting on the 4 hour 50%, and we expanded from that, right? So, and that's to signify that buy right there. All right, I hope this all makes sense. And then the fuckery also is that, Nvidia is going to the moon here, and, we're still down here, right? So that is an inkling to say, okay, well, I don't expect to see this right now. So I expect to see the retracement and then expansion. So that was supporting it, but just the way they were timing it and doing it, this shit's coming down while the motherfucker's going up. And why do you think that? Because everyone's trying to buy. So hopefully this all makes sense. Look at the 4 hour bodies also now respecting that 4 hour imbalance. Man, this is just dope, man. But I couldn't be a part of it. Now I told myself when it was here, I was like, bro, just buy this. But I'm like, dude, I'm not buying this shit. This shit looking like Dow, But and then at that point here, I was like, man, these motherfuckers gonna roll through. I was trying to catch the swing low, and then look at candle 3 on the 4 hour, made the swing low, but it did not break. And then candle 4 is now the real expansion, well, if you want to call it that. As of now, so this is where we are. This is what today brought. And then, as you can see, to me, this is just still bullish on the daily chart, the weekly chart, and the hourly chart with this. And then, in the 4 hour, it's kind of, it still shows bullish, but, you see the breaker structure there. I know this is a lot, man, but this is to explain it, man. So we got into 101.5. You want to see a retrace. Okay, cool. And then obviously you want to see this as support. I didn't even draw the 130. Wasn't around. But that's why when I saw 130, I was like, this motherfucker's going to buy. Look where 130 is. Oh, it's over here. Here's that imbalance for the PM session. And look how. Boom. Right there. That's time involved. That's algorithmic. Okay. Bink. Right there. It's also the same. Look. Can't make that up. Anyways. And they're retracing back. So this is the leg. This is the leg I wanted to see here. Right? This is the leg I wanted to see here. But they fucking pulled it back twice. Still didn't take out that low. Super dirty. But I understood if it was going to buy, it would buy from up here. But I'm not playing. So have a nice day. Look. I had that from the beginning of the day. See that? So they came all the way back down and still fucking made it up here. You can't make that shit up, bro. This is a pretty strong candle. You want to see this turn into a wick if we're strong. But okay, it's just sealing all of that 1 hour candle. Hey, no, I don't know. I mean, you know, I would have, in a normal case, I would have held or I would have bought this. But nah, I ain't fucking with them. Why? It's just the end of the month and quarter. I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm already tired. So I just have to, you just got to call it. But this is fire though. Just study, back test. Okay, retrace. We're looking for expansion. There it goes. I tried to catch it. Good decision of taking it out, but you know, whatever. This is real dirty right there to come all the way deep into this rejection wick, right? So, you know, what are you gonna fucking do, right? But look at the bodies on the 15-minute. They told the story there, and did I make another fucking long video? I'm getting irritated by doing it for real. And then just, you know, look at that. But if you saw the way I drew it, it's not complicating. It's not. It's just they're gonna fucking come deep sometimes. What are you gonna do? You know, to be honest, we should have never came anywhere down here. You know what I'm saying? We should have high or low, and you know, already pushed up. What do you think this is? This is to say, fuck you. This is to say, we know you're on our dick. We're going to try to shake you again. And sure enough, it worked for me. I'm done. I'm not playing with them. And then they still bought it, right? Because lower time frame, easier. Look at the 4 hour. If you're just trading the higher time frame, this is all noise, but it's letting you know. It's letting you know. And then this bitch ended up turning up. I swear to God. What else am I gonna say? Look at that. Look at this. All right. It's just manipulation, man. It's just manipulation. Support there. Boom. So I don't know. What else can I say? Phases of price. I understand in the phase of retracement, this lower lows, lower highs. That's why I drew this. Didn't I draw another example? Okay, this too will apply for the retrace, by the way. See how I made this pop up here? Where this is actually where we did, and then we retrace back. So this was still in the you know, flow of it, right? Except for all this shit from the bottom, right? So yeah, hope that makes sense. But that's why, you know, when I made the video yesterday, you know, made a video right here, we popped up and then the structure down, right? Okay, I'm beating a dead horse maybe, right? So, okay, this should be an expansion leg. And you have this range from there to there to there. We already know it's at 50, it tagged 50, by the way. Now, from this low to this high, we're in that range. Is a retrace to 50 here and bounce back up? I don't know. I don't care. But in general speaking, just buy from here, you know, and then clear the board. Okay, so I can do that. Or if it wants to come deeper, fucking whatever. I don't know. But, you know, this was just in general speaking to come back down. And, you know, again, low, so the high, the shit, retrace all the way deep. So in this case, if I was to draw the same thing that just happened today, let's just say it went this deep, right? You got you got another shift here, all the way deep. That could be the retracement. You know what I'm saying? I don't expect it to, but like, you know, let's just say maybe it is. You know what I'm saying? You know, a fib on a 61. Who knows, right? But this is price action. So hope this helps you guys. Take care and God bless.